This talk of pardoning Derek Chauvin is bait to get black people out into the streets, to be confronted by police officers who Donald Trump thinks should have immunity, and so that Donald Trump and these police officers can beat and kill black people in the streets. And Donald Trump can point at that and say, look at this, I don't have any other choice but to impose martial law nationwide.
Hey everybody, I want this video to go viral if you can. Look, the whole thing about pardoning Derek Chauvin is to provoke the black community to react, for us to go out in the streets in anger. Look, this is a targeted attack against us. This is to provoke us and to trigger us because nothing else is working. We're not going out in the streets. We're not buying anything. We're not fighting this. We didn't go out and protest. The problem is they want to enact martial law, and they need an excuse to do it. Keep in mind that the MAGAs wanted bloodshed. They wanted that civil war. Remember what happened when he lost the last time? Well, he won this time, and they did not get their bloodlust satisfied. Remember, the whole point of pardoning Chauvin is to get us out into the streets so that they can blame us when the violence ensues. Don't forget who you are dealing with. Don't forget why they're doing it, and don't let them provoke you into going out into the streets.
If we are issuing pardons, however, there is one person that President Trump should pardon from federal charges forthwith. It would be incredibly controversial, but I think that it's absolutely necessary. That person is Derek Chauvin. President Trump should, in fact, pardon Derek Chauvin. He should. He should pardon him his federal charges. If we are talking about reversing the evils of the last several years in American life, obviously COVID and its handling was a massive evil. Destroyed the economy, set us on a path to fiscal insanity, destroyed children, led to massive health-related cover-ups, just horrifying all the way around. And President Trump has taken on a lot of those things. But when it came to BLM, the inciting event for the BLM riots that caused $2 billion in property damage in the United States and set America's race relations on their worst footing in my lifetime, was in fact the railroading of Derek Chauvin in the death of George Floyd. The evidence demonstrates that Derek Chauvin did not, in fact, commit murder of George Floyd.
Mr. President, your allies are calling on you to pardon Derek Chauvin. Are you considering pardoning Derek Chauvin?
No, I haven't even heard about it, no.
Mr. President, on peace.
I haven't heard that.
Hello brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. I just hope that you're doing fine wherever you are today. Now, when we were told that black people don't have friends, it's true, black people don't have friends. Because you find that most of relationships that black people have with other races, most of it you'll find that it is usually always asked to be with benefit to them. But when it doesn't benefit them, you now see their true color. And I said that I'm not going to be resting until this message reaches a lot of people. They're trying to bully and provoke black people for not joining and going to the street. Look at what Elon Musk is doing, trying to force black people into something that they don't want, into something that they don't want to be part of. And as a result, they are pushing this towards black people. They're trying so much to provoke a black person in the United States for them to do something that they don't want to do. And while themselves they made this happen, they want black people to bear the consequences of what they did. But at the end of the day, I'm here to reinforce the message that is being said, that it is time we stand up for our own rights. And we know when to leave the fight. At this moment, black people should be leaving the chat. This is not the fight of black people, blacks in the United States. I'm always watching everything that is happening. I keep interest in things that are happening. And there is no other way I will get tired to remind a black brother or a black sister who looks like me in the United States and tell them that we are just getting started. And this time around, they're doing the right way. They're doing it through silence. They're doing it through keeping quiet. They're doing it through being in the house. Because all these people are trying to do is just trying to prove that indeed black folks don't have friends. Because if really the black riots wasn't benefiting them, they couldn't have needed it so desperately the way they're doing it today. The fact that I'm seeing Elon Musk jumping into this or doing this really tells you a lot. They need black voices because they know black people ain't not supporting what Tesla is doing or what just recently it crashed, right? And they always think that black people has something to do with all those things that are happening. I don't want to say much, but I want us to watch this video. As usually know, these are presented Chintook Stories, and stay tuned for more contemporary things that are happening in the United States and more Black history content that I usually share with you. And I appreciate you, and just know that I usually know and see what you're doing in the comment section, and it is highly appreciated. Keep speaking, keep talking, because the black voice, it's an important voice of the world. It's a representative of the voices. It is a representative of what people should be knowing. Let's watch the video. I'll be back.
That comment was left on a video that I did yesterday about Elon Musk encouraging Donald Trump to pardon Derek Chauvin, the police officer who was held primarily responsible for the murder of George Floyd in the spring of 2020, which gave rise to the Black Lives Matter protests during that summer. That sentiment was then echoed by Ben Shapiro on his show, and I made a video, admittedly, from the perspective of a white guy who's a lawyer. And my perspective was Derek Chauvin was convicted, the most serious charges that landed him in prison for the rest of his life. He was convicted on state charges in a state court, and a president can't pardon somebody for state charges. He can only pardon on federal charges. There were some follow-up federal charges for violating civil rights and things like that, and Trump could pardon Derek Chauvin on those. But being that I'm a white guy, and I came at that from the perspective of a white guy who's a lawyer, I woke up this morning to a lot of comments on that video from black Americans. And the one thing that I did not think of is that this talk of pardoning Derek Chauvin is bait to get black people out into the streets, to be confronted by police officers who Donald Trump thinks should have immunity, and so that Donald Trump and these police officers can beat and kill black people in the streets. And Donald Trump can point at that and say, look at this, I don't have any other choice but to impose martial law nationwide. Admittedly, my perspective in that video was limited to my particular life experience. It did not dawn on me when I made that video. I got a lot of comments like this, and I saw a video from Tabitha this morning. Tabitha Speaks Politics. If you're not following her, you really should be. And she said it explicitly. She's like, this is bait to get black people out into the streets. And I hadn't thought of that. I hadn't thought of that. But I think it's entirely accurate. I think it's absolutely entirely accurate. I think Donald Trump is confused 6 weeks into his presidency that there haven't been mass nationwide protests every day, people in the streets protesting against him and what he's doing. And I think this talk of pardoning Derek Chauvin is a way to light a fire under certain communities in the United States to get them out into the streets so that Donald Trump can turn loose police officers, National Guard troops, the United States military on American soil as a way to get to a point where he can declare martial law in the United States. So thank you for that comment. Thank you, Tabitha, for your video. You know, and this is again, it's like, this is one of the reasons why I love TikTok, because people with different identities than mine and different backgrounds than mine bring different perspectives to circumstances that don't necessarily dawn on me right out of the gate, because, you know, it's just like, I'm just a dumb white guy who grew up in very segregated circumstances in Ohio, you know? So I appreciate your comment and everybody's input on that, but I think you're absolutely 100% correct.
President Elon Musk suggested that felon Trump should think about pardoning Derek Chauvin, the ex-cop convicted of taking George Floyd's life unnecessarily. Musk reposted a rant from Ben Shapiro, who called Chauvin's conviction a railroading and claimed it was the true cause of the BLM protest. What is it about these maggots that they want to relitigate these judgments that were done by a jury that reviewed all the evidence and made a decision in the company of lawyers and a judge? Ben Shapiro, Musk, nor the felon have all the facts, and maggots think it's okay to let these people go because they feel like it. You know, I say if that's the case and they're going to do that, then it's open season on the pardoned. Damn, that's a good movie idea. Never mind that Chauvin was convicted of murder and civil rights violation. Shapiro knows everything, and he wants the felon to wipe it all away for another felon. And Musk, he's just thinking about it, because apparently this is the debate we're having right now in 2025 with the egg prices still high. Will the convict actually consider it? I bet he will, because he's into letting criminals out of prison and into the street, like himself. Do not comply with this maggot trash. Believe in truth. I'll be back with more of it.
Hey, what's good, my people? What's good? I'm that boy they call Big Tone, one half of the Chronic OGs podcast. Make America Great Again, part 337. So Ben Shapiro came out, like I said the other day, Ben Shapiro came out and said that Donald Trump should pardon Derek Chauvin, who's the guy that murdered George Floyd. So I gave that some thought, and you know what? They just trying to entice us. They just trying to entice us so they could put us in jail, so we can go out and protest, and they gonna make the protest get a little rowdy, and then we gonna respond, and then they want to go out, they want to hurt us, they want to spray us, they want to possibly kill us and have qualified immunity and all this other bullshit. Only thing I'm gonna say, folks, is this: don't fall for the okie doke. There's no way in hell he does not, as bigger balls as Trump believes he has from the shit he's doing, don't believe for a second that he's going to do that. If he does that, unfortunately, there's going to be an uproar, as he would say, the likes of no one has seen before. Don't fall for it, y'all. After y'all watch this video, don't even think about it no more. I'm that boy they call Big Tone. I'm out.
Buenas tardes, happy Black 365. Listen, escucha venereal diseases. So Elonia Musty bitch, you know, the robot with the skin falling off the bone structure. He asked the Grand Wizard in charge to pardon Derek Chauvin, and you know, that is that ex-cop who's in prison now for unaliving George Floyd, you know, by putting his knee on his neck for a certain amount of time while everybody was recording. And that's what kicked off the Black Lives Matter movement, bitch, in 2020. But this is expected. I mean, if you expected, you wouldn't be surprised, bitch. Your boca will never be open, bitch. It will always stay in place, bitch. Keep your beef sucker safe. So, I mean, I expect it. It's unfortunate, though, but, I mean, you got the motherfucking fat bastard in charge who already pardoned the convicted January 6th insurrectionist, bitch. That was, like, one of his first business of order when he got into the motherfucking White House. So that's expected. But, you know, felons doing what felons do, bitch. They sticking together like glue, bitch. They got their pink piglets right in each other's backside. Just punching in the Oval Office. But anyhow, also as well, in addition to motherfucker fat bastard in charge, he said he's gonna give Israel the resources they need to finish the job. I'm assuming he's talking about the Palestinians, bitch. They already demolished Gaza, bitch. Ain't nothing left but some rebel. Let them people rebuild. Them Palestinians done made it all the way back, fought this time, made it back, and now you gonna finish the job, huh? But you know what? This is what y'all voted for. So tear this motherfucker down to the studs, ho. I would like to hear from the Dearborn uncommitted delegates. You know, because my flabbers are gasted. Okay, ho?
There is no way this is not rage bait. Elon borrowed RFK Jr.'s brainworm and is just letting it play with the controls like plankton in SpongeBob. It kind of follows a logical conclusion, right? Because the right wing in America have made their entire political identity around attacking DEI and hating DEI, while at the same time implicitly associating anything to do with black people in professions or positions of power as being DEI. Essentially turning DEI into a new form of sort of dog whistle, or sort of a new slur, essentially saying, oh, you're DEI, basically making it clear that they have a problem with black people. I did not realise that tomfuckery went as far as a South Africa apartheid billionaire trying to advocate for the freedom of a corrupt police officer with a history of racism-based violent complaints who held his knee on the neck of a man for 8 minutes, resulting in his passing. That was found in a court of law. If anyone says anything about blood content or anything, congratulations, you're about as racist as this guy. George Floyd was a white guy, you wouldn't be saying that, would you? And then people saying like, oh my god, why would Elon suddenly be just so crazy in favour of white racists? And it's like, this is not new. The guy comes from apartheid South Africa, and the way that his companies get sued for racism, it reflects that. This is absolutely crazy work that people aren't aware of. Like, in these lawsuits, there's allegations that Tesla management and stuff were just turning a blind eye to racist slurs and graffiti, including nooses and that one particular symbol that we don't like. It's no surprise that this guy, prompted by Benny Boy, is so eager to wiggle his jiggly Ozempic chin into the legal system and try and get this absolute monster released. And there's also people saying that he wants to do it because it will cause people to riot, and then he can use that as an excuse to get Trump to implement martial law, because all of his companies are failing and his net worth is going down at the moment. And I think he probably wants to fix that with a little bit of authoritarianism. Disgusting though. Follow for more.
Hey everybody, I want this video to go viral if you can. Look, the whole thing about pardoning Derek Chauvin is to provoke the black community to react, for us to go out in the streets in anger. Look, this is a targeted attack against us. This is to provoke us and to trigger us because nothing else is working. We're not going out in the streets. We're not buying anything. We're not fighting this. We didn't go out and protest. The problem is they want to enact martial law, and they need an excuse to do it. Keep in mind that the MAGAs wanted bloodshed. They wanted that civil war. Remember what happened when he lost the last time? Well, he won this time, and they did not get their bloodlust satisfied. Remember, the whole point of pardoning Chauvin is to get us out into the streets so that they can blame us when the violence ensues. Don't forget who you are dealing with. Don't forget why they're doing it, and don't let them provoke you into going out into the streets.
So Ben Shapiro is leading a charge to get Derek Chauvin released. You know, Derek Chauvin, the guy who was convicted, found guilty, and is in prison for the unaliving of George Floyd. Ben Shapiro is leading the cause of getting him released. I mean, the last time I heard about Ben Shapiro, he was talking about his wife has never ever had a moist Felucci. This piece of crap is out there trying to get George Floyd's unaliver released from prison. This news came as I was doing a live, which was wonderful, you guys. Thank you. And most of the people in my life said, oh, you know, it's actually a good idea. Let him loose and let Shapiro run around with him, because it would probably be a really great idea to visit any city with a large amount of any ethnicity. Did I say in this? Yeah. Let him free. But yeah, This whiny, nasally, fake piece of crap who can't even get his wife to a state of moisture wants to release George Floyd's murderer.
And so with that being said, it is not our fight at this moment, but are those constructive things we can do so that we can avoid problems. Because remember, they usually want black people so much, and they want the black blood, because when you go to protest, they'll execute the martial law. And when Donald Trump executes martial law, you know the consequences that these are towards black people. So I believe that you don't want to be part of that chaos. You don't want to be part of it. Let them do their thing the way they started. Let them finish the way they started. The key importance of this video is generally to remind you as a black folk that indeed a black person doesn't have a friend, because all along in the history of America, they never cared about black people. They never gave a damn mind about black people, or where black people were, or what black people were eating. How was the conditions? They knew all this, but they didn't want to bother, or they didn't want to know much about it. But right now, you're seeing what Ben Shapiro is trying to do. It's like this person is entitled that black people need to get on the streets. If you don't get on the streets, we'll have to do something to make you get on the street. And it's crazy. It's crazy because we need to remind ourselves that we are the bigger people. And sometimes the best way of winning more is leaving it. I mean, what are black people fighting for to begin with? What's that thing they never said? Or what's that thing they never talked about? White people are so smart, but they're not smarter than black folks. White people are smart in this sense. They know damn well that black voices can be so instrumental in pushing the things that they want to push that doesn't even benefit a black person, but the things that benefit them. But since black folks are smarter or are getting smarter than them, they're now trying to use force. They're not trying to provoke black people. There's a video that I did trying to explain how they're not trying, or they're trying to remove the black history education in schools, or they're trying to erase it from the curriculum. Again, to provoke black people. They could do anything in this earth to provoke black people. They could do a damn thing still to provoke black people. To provoke black people from coming and from working hard and from making the right decisions of the things that they should be doing. And so, with that being said, it is important for us to know if indeed, let's say, that black voices was not instrumental in the American history. I mean, you could see the desperation. They couldn't be doing this. That tells you that there's something about black folks. And when we are tired, it bothers them that why are black folks tired? Why? We need their voices, because their voices are instrumental. And that's how it has always been. They only won because they had power, because they had weapon, because they had all these factors of production. But black people didn't have all these factors of production. And that's why you see educators, black economists, trying to tell black people to economically integrate, to support black business, to support a black person, to engage, and to let black people know that nothing works because the only asset that a black person has is unity. Remember, I usually say that. And a black person doesn't have a friend. if it is not from a black person that looks like him or her. So it is at this point that I want you to let this sink. We, black folks, as a black diaspora, out in and outside the United States, we don't have friends. Today, a black person goes to Asia, 90% chances that he might be told to go back to where he came from. Right? There is so much inconveniences that it's easier for them to have. And so what does this tell you? A black person doesn't have a friend. Or if they have, it's beneficial to the people that they are doing it with them. The types of relationship that black people are holding are parasitic relationship. These people are benefiting more from you than you are benefiting from them. So it is high chance we guard our energy. It is high chance we get to know this truth. It is high chance black people need to know that sometimes the best way is walking away the ring. It's not fighting. Right? The best way of winning is by losing, is by leaving. Yes, it makes sense, or it doesn't make sense to some people, but I just hope that this happens and this gets through black folks' senses, because this is something that has been happening, and I feel like we need to address it and get to know that they'll try so much. This is just the beginning. They'll try to get into your skin. They'll try to see you surrender. They'll try to see you get on the streets so that they can do whatever they want to do. And for the longest time, this is what has been happening. This moment is so crucial. That's why I'm gonna keep reminding you. I'm gonna keep telling you. I'm gonna use this podcast to remind you and tell you for all the things that they have done. For all the things that they have done, try get you back to history to make you understand the things that they have done. Right? So I feel like it's important for us to get to acknowledge that indeed our voices are so instrumental. Our voices have played a really great part in making us be the champions of the things that you're seeing are happening in the United States. But at some point, they'll try to make it look like them that the ones that they did. But a person who understands real history knows damn well that black people are great. And that's why they'll do anything, they'll do everything to make sure that they got you on their box. They'll make sure that you are caged. They'll make sure that at the end of the day, you are going to abide by what they want. But again, I'm calling you a black person. I'm speaking to you and telling you that you need to stay put. You need to reflect what has been happening in the history, because they don't give a damn about it. They just want instant gratification. They just want you on the street so that their policies can be pushed. So that was all I had to say about this video. Honestly, I still feel like reminding you that this is a fight that needs to go on. Black people need to keep quiet. It's important because they remained silent. For the longest time, they didn't want to speak for black folks. Only few white people that spoke for black folks, right? So I'm proud of you black people for what you're doing, and keep doing what you're doing. As you know, these are presenter Unique Stories, and I'm hoping you're fine and great from wherever you're watching us from. These are presenter Unique Stories. I hope you're great. I hope you're happy. And please, please, please stay in the houses. If you can work in the house, better. Get your food, get inside the house, lock yourself, enjoy yourself, watch some Netflix, do something productive inside the house if you can. That will be better. Right? So, that's my last message that I'm leaving you. And I want to take this time to thank you for the support, for the subscribers that have been coming, those who are donating through my Cash App account, those who are sending me super thanks. Just know that I do see them and I appreciate what you're doing. Let me see you in my next video. As usually know, this is a presenter of Jindok Stories. Until then, peace, love, and harmony. Salute.